All right. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. We are very happy that you are joining us this Sunday afternoon in this Ask Me Anything session sponsored by the College of Letters and Science. This time, talking about an exciting opportunity for all of you who have been accepted to UW-Madison for fall semester. We're going to be talking about the LNS STEM Runway. We will get more into that in a few minutes. So welcome everybody. I'm Jose Madera, Assistant Dean for the Center of Academic Excellence in the College of Letters and Science here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Go Badgers! This is a special virtual event. It's for all of you who have applied and have been accepted for admission to the University of Wisconsin-Madison. On my behalf, and on behalf of all my colleagues and faculty of the College of Letters and Science, wholeheartedly, we congratulate you and hope you decide to join the Badger family either this coming summer or the fall semester. So, welcome, Badgers. Before we proceed, I would like to first provide you with a few pointers regarding the use of Zoom throughout our event. You can mute and unmute yourself throughout today's meeting. This is actually what we like to have is a conversation with you. The hosts and technical moderators can also assist with you on this regard. I encourage all of you to use the chat function throughout the presentation to post any questions that you may have. Or to write them down, on the side, and then be ready when we start the Ask Me Anything portion of this event. And we hope that all of you have a great experience with us. So let's get things started, all right? So, again, on behalf of the University of Wisconsin-Madison College of Letters and Science, I would like to welcome all of you prospective STEM scholars, your parents, your friends, and colleagues, and our colleagues represented affiliated campus students support programs and STEM disciplines. And I said earlier, I'm Jose Madera, Assistant Dean in the College of Letters and Science. We are also joined by Devon Wilson, which is the director of the Center for Academic Excellence here also at the University of Wisconsin-Madison in the College of Letters and Science. Let's welcome Devon Wilson with the official welcoming remarks and words of encouragement. Hello, Devon.
Hello, Jose. Thank you again. And I just want to say welcome to you, future Badgers. And again, as Jose said, congratulations on your acceptance to the University of Wisconsin-Madison. One of the great things about coming to an institution like this is that you're coming to a place that is a world-class institution where they're doing, as Dean Wilcox would say, a lot of cool things, and especially in the area of STEM. And really the purpose of what we want to try to do with this event is, one of the things about a great big university like this, it's an opportunity for us to shrink the place for you, to connect you with some key resources, to get you to understand how you can create your own Wisconsin experience. One of the beauties of studying STEM in a place like LNS is the skill set that you will develop here can take you anywhere, into any profession, or could take you to medical school, could take you anywhere. And that's one of the beauties of it. And so we always think it's valuable for you to understand what tools you can use to help you create your best Wisconsin experience. So we hope you enjoy this experience with us today and understand that this is only an introduction. We look forward to being part of the journey with you. And as you come here as Badgers, looking to make great changes in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Devon. Thank you for those encouraging words. And we, as Devon said, we hope that you take advantage of this opportunity and you can get to join us either this summer or fall semester. For today's event, we've also invited some friends and colleagues from across the College of Letters and Science. Some of them are faculty or course instructors, academic advisors, and even one of your fellow students who have agreed to participate in this event, and they are representing different academic majors in STEM disciplines. We have Janet Batsley. She's the interim director of the Biocore program. We are also joined by Shimon Kolkowitz, assistant professor in the physics department. Tracy Lewis Williams, she's a faculty associate in computer sciences. Kelly Boldiz is the academic advisor of Integrative Biology, or as we call it, iBio. And we also have Enrique Ramirez Ponce. He's a sophomore student from the Milwaukee area, and he is majoring in neurobiology. So you will be provided with, through the chat, with some other information in case you would like to connect with them directly. Okay, so I will ask them to introduce themselves, the role and work that they perform, as well as a unique aspect of the program they represent or pursue in the case of Enrique, whether it is related to the teaching and learning environment, research conducted in their respective departments, engagement opportunities to advance in knowledge and experience, as well as career prospects after earning a degree in a STEM discipline. Later on, we're going to share with you a very impactful video. It's called the See the Right Thing. We're not going to play it right now, but this is a video that talks about thinkers and achievers that since 1848, that's when the university was founded, have, you know, pushed the limits of discovery, have used their creativity, have you know, collaborated, have come up with their own ideas, and are advancing, you know, science, technology, and all the applications in so many different fields, not just here in Wisconsin, but through the Wisconsin idea all over the world. So that will be the See the Right Thing video. We will see, we will share that link at the end of the presentation. So let's hear from Enrique Ramirez. He is a sophomore pursuing a degree, a major in neurobiology. As I mentioned, he's from the Milwaukee area here in Wisconsin. And we would just like to hear from Enrique about some of the experiences he had taken advantage of, and what so far he feels or believes has been that experience, how it has been able to advance his the learning that he has acquired, and what are his plans after graduation. Enrique?
Thank you, Jose. In terms of neurobiology, it's a great experience here in Madison. As a pre-med student as well, pursuing neurobiology. I've had the opportunity to serve other students. I'm a member of the peer leading Exploring Biology team here at UW-Madison, where I help fellow freshmen and other students here in Madison to decide what majors they should pursue. Neurobiology is one of the majors that I highly recommend when it comes to studying in terms of mental research, anything that has to do with the mind and anything in that aspect. I am in the process of getting into a lab here at UW-Madison, and I highly recommend getting into research here at UW-Madison. There's so many opportunities in labs here at the university, and in terms of future, after getting my bachelor's of science in neurobiology, I plan on pursuing and going into medical school, where I intend to either become a surgeon or become a neurologist, and that's how neurobiology is what I want to study in order to get there. On other things that I'm also involved here at the university, I'm involved with Model United Nations, and like I said, exploring biology. There's so many things you could do here at the university.
Thank you, Enrique. What are your plans for this summer?
For this summer, I'll be part of the HPSP, which is the health program, summer program that helps any pre-med students who want to learn more about the medical school and what it's like to interact with other doctors. And this year they're planning for a hybrid, depending on how the pandemic is resolved.
Great. Thank you very much, Enrique. Certainly, there are many great things happening for you right now, and it looks like you are paving the way for excellent experience during your junior and senior year. And best of luck on your studies. All right. Finals are across across the street, coming up quickly. So let's hear from Kellen Boldies. He's the academic advisor of Integrated Biology, iBio, as I mentioned. And he's going to be talking about the major of zoology, which is one of several majors that are offered through the iBio department. Kellen?
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Jose. Yes, my name's Kayla, and I'm an academic advisor in zoology in the Department of Integrative Biology, like Jose said, which homes several biological science majors, including neurobiology, which we just spoke of, as well as molecular and cell biology. My role as an academic advisor is I help support students with academic planning. So talking about and going through supporting students when they're making their schedules, talking about major requirements, sometimes about specific courses, as well as a smidge of career advising here and there. Zoology is a flexible bioscience major. It really gives students the opportunity to either focus in one specific area of biological science if you already have your interest. For example, if you're interested in ecology, it gives you the opportunity to really kind of focus with various upper level courses in ecology. Or if you might not know where you want to go, but you know that you have an interest in bioscience, it gives you the opportunity to really pick and choose different courses, whether it be a cellular biology course or ecology. Being a zoology major doesn't mean you have to work at zoos. I think that that's something that should always kind of be talked about. There are a
That's
lot of
right.
different opportunities. Um, because it is a biological science major, I have students that graduate and that end up doing stuff within research. So furthering themselves in academia, maybe focusing specifically in ecology or evolution. It all kind of varies, but research is one main focus that some students go into. Another is animal care. So working in zoos, working in wildlife rehabilitation centers, etc. And then another big chunk of graduates go into the into the health field. So whether it be a vet tech or veterinary medicine, or even sometimes some students are pre-med that are in this major. So even though some students that might like working in zoos or doing animal care, that is not the only career opportunity. Next slide, please. Research and contact info. So with zoology, I would say study abroad and research are two kind of great complementary opportunities for ZO students. When you're here, study abroad is an awesome idea, and there are a lot of places and programs where there are courses that would be relevant towards the major. Research is a huge thing, and I think we spoke about it a bit through Enrique about kind of looking for research labs. In the Department of Integrative Biology, there are so many opportunities that extend to every section of biology, including limnology, ecology and evolution, cellular biology, neuroscience, and much more. So if you're interested in doing maybe neurobiology research on the social behavior of songbirds, there's a lab for that. If you're interested in the evolution of sea spiders, there's a lab for that. If you're interested in doing research on the lakes around the area, Lake Monona and Mendota, there's a lab for that. If you are interested in zoo or neurobiology or molecular and cell biology, I would advise you all to check out our department's website, integrativebiology.wisc.edu, and under that's my email if you ever want to talk about zoology. Next slide, please.
So thank you, Kellen. Very exciting about things that are happening in zoology and in iBio. We have so much to say, but we just, because of time constraint, we cannot just talk about every single department under the iBio major. So I welcome and we welcome all of you who are listening live right now or later watching this video to contact Kayla and to go to the departmental's website to learn more about the many things that you can do with majoring any of the iBio programs that are offered. So next, we have Shimon Kolkuwex. He's assistant faculty, social faculty in the Department of Physics, who's also gonna feature some of the great things that are happening in the physics department here at UW-Madison.
Thanks so much, Jose. So I want to join the hosts and the rest of the panelists in congratulating all of you in being admitted to our university. Really hope you'll come join us here. And what I wanted to highlight a little bit is some of the research taking place in the physics department here at the University of Wisconsin. And what I think is a lot of undergraduates, and I include myself in this when I was first applying to college, don't realize is that, what makes a place like University of Wisconsin really special is you have the opportunity as an undergraduate to participate in sort of leading science that's really pushing our understanding of the world in all of the different fields of STEM. And it's really something that makes, a place like University of Wisconsin very special because you can really participate in this starting in your freshman year. And I'd like to join Kellen and Enrique in encouraging you to explore the opportunities that are available to you to do undergraduate research. So I just wanted to give you a few examples of that. So on this slide, you can see a few different things. In the bottom left corner, you can see this kind of funny looking ball, which we actually appropriately call the big red ball. And that is a plasma physics experiment where inside of that ball, they're simulating or actually creating similar conditions to the conditions inside of the sun to better understand the physics of our sun, to understand things like solar flares and all of those kind of phenomena that are actually very important, even to telecommunications and things like that. Above that, you can see a picture from my own lab. That is actually a kind of clock, a very special kind of clock. That's one of the most accurate clocks in the world. It's an atomic clock. And that glowing blue ball right at the center there is a cloud of atoms that have been cooled to 1/1,000,000th of a degree above absolute zero. So that's actually one of the coldest places in the known universe, almost certainly one of the coldest places in the whole universe that you can see there. The balls are the ball is atoms levitating in space that we're holding there with a combination of lasers and magnetic fields. And this clock is so accurate that if you had two of them and you started them ticking at the Big Bang and kept them ticking for all 14 billion years of the universe, the two clocks would agree on the age of the universe to better than 1 second over the full 14 billion years. So it's an incredibly precise clock that we can use to measure things like the relativistic effects of gravity in the lab. So you may not know this, but gravity actually sort of distorts the passage of time. And so as a result, your head is actually slightly older than your feet just because of Earth's gravity. And that's an effect that we can measure in the lab. Using our clock right now, we're in the process of measuring that effect at sort of the centimeter scale. So, and I just want to emphasize that on that experiment, we have two undergraduates, just like yourselves, who joined me in their freshman and sophomore years and are working on that experiment. Just a couple of other examples. You can see one of the telescopes that's used in the dark matter survey that's currently taking place to try to understand the universe around us. It turns out most of the universe is made up of things we don't know what it is. And we're trying to figure that out. And you can go work at these telescopes. And another great example of that is the figure all the way on the upper right there. That is the IceCube experiment, which is a neutrino physics observatory based at the South Pole. And undergrads do get to go down to the South Pole. Of course, no one has to go to the South Pole unless they want to. But if you want to, you can go down to the South Pole and work on this observatory, which is pretty amazing opportunity. And there's really exciting science going on. So I do want to direct you to a couple of these links here that are listed on the slide and that I think are also being put in the chat box on YouTube. You can learn about some of the undergraduate sort of experience in our department, all of the resources that are available. And there's a nice video there. I included a YouTube link where we talk about some of these research opportunities. I actually give a lab tour of my lab. You can learn a little bit more about these clocks and things like that. So if we go to the next slide, there's one other thing I want to highlight, which is the Physics Learning Center. So for most of you going into STEM, the physics department is relatively, it's a relatively large physics department, but compared to many of the other departments you're going to hear about today and many of the other programs are relatively small. So most of you will probably interact with us through taking some of the sort of intro physics 103, 104 level courses that are required for many of the other majors on campus. And we have a number of resources that are available, and I want to highlight the Physics Learning Center, which really is sort of a resource that the physics department makes available to everyone who's taking those introductory level courses to try to help sort of help with that. So there's guided study sessions and small groups of students working together on problems with excellent tutors. There you can see in the picture, Susan Nassel is the director, and the picture on the upper right there is a number of the staff and tutors. And then if you're interested, and especially if you're a physics major, there's also, of course, the opportunity to get involved in tutoring and teaching these very important courses. So we have, you know, many students that come through, and we want to make sure that they have a good experience in our classes, and the Physics Learning Center is a big part of what allows us to do that. So thanks a lot. Look forward to talking more.
Great. Thank you, Shimon. I mean, exploration, you know, where are the boundaries of exploration? Either, you know, all the way to the center, the core of the Earth, the center of the Earth, and, you know, billions of miles away from here in outer space. So, and we are in between. So, you know, great opportunities happening with the physics department here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Next, we have Tracy Lewis Williams. She's a faculty associate in the computer sciences department, where, you know, great things are happening as well. Tracy?
Hi, everyone. It's a great day to be a computer science major. Yay! Next slide, please. Actually, every day is a great day to be computer science because we are one of the largest majors on campus, and we have this new budding major called data science that's really growing. And computer science being so big, people are scared sometimes to come to our department, but please don't. You may see the classes that are large, like the one that's on the top right, but we actually have smaller groups, smaller labs like the one that's on the top left, where we have students interact with each other. And then we have peer leaders that will actually walk through assignments and walk through teaching information that maybe the instructors didn't get to cover as much in class. So we have small groups available. We are housed right now on Dayton Street. The middle picture is what we're doing. But I really wanted to talk today about some of the cool things that we do. As a faculty associate, I get to work with undergrads a lot. And I love that part about computer science, because my classes that I specifically teach, software engineering and human computer interaction, those classes, we actually take the theoretical concepts that you may learn in your earlier classes, because my classes are typically the classes that you will take your junior and senior years, and we create projects that you may that you work with clients and you may use as the speech that you're going to, or the interview that you're going to have with your future employees. The cow that you see in the center is from a capstone course where we were actually, that's not particularly my course, but we were working with clients, and some of my students were working with this class to create this particular application that talked about how to feed cows. When do the cows actually need the hay? And then we have on the right side of the screen, you'll see two robots. And those robots are things that we have in our human computer interaction lab. And we have undergrads that work and create research that allows, or applications that allow those robots to interact with, actually right now they're interacting with middle school students and teaching some middle school students how to do certain dance moves, right? So it's a lot of fun stuff that we do with our robots in the labs. And then we have some other robots that's on the left, and they're following the black lines around, trying to get from one end of the screen to the other. And so we do a lot of fun stuff. We have the theory, but we have those applied classes as well. Next slide. And what we do in computer science, we want to make sure that everybody feels included in computer science. So we have a very diverse computing community. The top picture that you see that says WestCS, I'm the former director of WestCS, and I'm actively involved in WestCS. WestCS is Wisconsin Emerging Scholars in Computer Science. What we do is we try to create this supportive and collaborative, yet challenging environment for diverse students to come together and talk about computing. So you go into class and you may not have had the same experience as somebody that has been programming since they were 6 years old. So we try to make sure that we have this equity where we have students that haven't had as much programming maybe get into smaller groups and start learning some of those concepts from their peers. And so that's what West CS is about, bringing students together in groups of anywhere from 6 to 10 students, and you have a peer instructor that's going to go through and walk through certain concepts. And so concepts that others may have had experience with, this may be your first time. And so we're going to give you practical examples, hands-on examples of how to get through those classes. And like physics, we have a computer science learning center, and our CSLC is housed on what we call the shelf. You can't see that picture very well, but the shelf is this very open space right across from Union South, where you can look out and see Union South. And we have students come in, you make appointments. When we were face-to-face and now we're virtual, we still have those students come in and interact with peers and get assistance on assignments. And then we have this really new cool group called the UW Color Stack, which is run by a student. She came to me and one of the faculty members and said, I want to start a group where BIPOC students, Black, Indigenous, and people of color can come together and have these learning groups that are beyond West CS, that are outside of the Computer Science Learning Center, and create this peer support group for all of our classes at UW. And it's a great group, it's growing, and we support undergraduates coming together around different research topics, around different activities, because again, we want to make sure that computer science is inclusive. We want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to succeed. Being a large major, there's a lot of people in your undergraduate class. You may have 500 people sitting with you, but when you get in that study group, you're going to know those 10 people. So we encourage students to seek out CSLC, seek out the West CS, seek out UW Color Stack, and create your own environment. We also have an undergraduate lab where we have undergraduates just go in and hang out with each other. So there's a lot of places to create a community even inside this large environment. I have put our website there, cs.wisc.edu, and my email address is tracy.lewiswilliams@wisc.edu. Reach out. We like to interact with our students. Again, fun major. Come by and see us. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Your enthusiasm is contagious. So, I hope that the students that are listening, maybe find ways to teach those robots how to dance salsa. We'll see. I will be interested in doing that. So we will see what happens. Thank you very much, Tracy. Last but not least, we have Janet Batsley. She's the interim director of the Biocore. It's a biology honors program. And again, great things are happening with the Biocore program here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. So, Janet?
Hi there, everyone. And I'm so excited to be able to welcome you along with my colleagues to UW-Madison. I really, really hope you join us here. Biocore is one of those cool things that Dean Wilson was talking about how students can be both part of a community and a curriculum. And it's a way to make this big campus a very small, intimate place where you get to know and work with both faculty and your fellow students in our classes. So I'm really lucky. I both direct the program and I also get to work as an instructor and as an advisor, working directly with students to learn biology and lab and lecture courses in the field, as you can see some of our students out there, and also outside of courses. We've got many leadership opportunities and many creative opportunities, as you can see in the middle of the screen there. That's one of our students who decided that they wanted to decorate one of our hallways in Biocore with this beautiful, beautiful mural So we have students from all over campus that are taking Biocore. It's the honors program. And I'm going to show you a little bit about what makes the program unique. So if I can have the next slide. So Biocore is both a community and a curriculum. And it emphasizes research, communication, and group learning, like many of the programs we talked about today. It's integrated, and there's leadership opportunities, as I spoke about. So the core of Biocore is a 4-semester curriculum. And again, it's really cool to be able to be in a small-sized classroom with your peers for 4 full semesters. That's 2 years, half of your college education. You're seeing the same students. You're working in these close-knit communities through coursework. And you can see some of our courses there, some of the topics that we cover. These courses are foundation courses that feed into 30 plus different types of biology majors on campus here. Kellen talked about a couple: neurobiology, zoology. Also, we have things like genetics, biochemistry, biomedical engineering, courses across campus that Biocore fulfills the requirements for. Some of the other things that you'll learn about in the courses is communication, and how communication is just central to how we work as scientists. Also, problem solving and innovation, things that we learn through research, like Shimon was talking about in physics. We do research in Biocore. We teach how to do research. And then most of our students go and do research in faculty labs across campus. And so that's a really, really important thing to be thinking about if you're coming and making the most of this big, huge research campus within a small setting like Biocore. Outside of class, about 85% of our students participate in co-curricular or leadership opportunities, including peer mentoring, and you can see some small groups there depicted. Outreach ambassador programs where we go out into schools and to the community, including the American Family Children's Hospital. Other opportunities include being an undergraduate research assistant or internships at the Biocore Prairie, and then joining our new adventure club where we get outside and do things together. So with that, Biocore is an honors program. It's an opportunity at the end of 2 years to earn a Biocore honors certificate, which is the only honors certificate on campus. And you can learn more about all of these opportunities through our website and through a frequently asked questions page, as well as the guide, our peer advisors, and of course myself. And I can put my email in the chat so you can see that again. But we're really excited to talk to you and talk with you about your interests in all these areas of biology. Oh, and I forgot to ask, Jose said, maybe cue them with some questions. And so I have a question for all of you. What's the percentage of students that actually become doctors out of Biocore? So I guess I'll hold that one and maybe entice your interest. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thank you, Janet. Very exciting about Biocore that, I mean, you can do good for the environment. You can do pursue health-related interest. You can do research. So it provides you with so many opportunities that they will all, advance you, not just academically, but in terms of experiences and to skill development for, postgraduate and careers ahead after you complete your degree here at UW-Madison. Last but not least, this is my time to take center stage. We want to talk briefly about the STEM Run initiative, the STEM Runway initiative, which is a commitment of the College of Letters and Science to change the face of STEM fields by engaging highly talented BIPOC thinkers, STEM-focused achievers, and engaging scholars. And we're talking about you. because you are listening to this broadcast, because you have the energy and the interest to learn more about what's happening here in the College of Letters and Science. So you're the thinkers, you are the achievers, and you will be the scholars who are going to be joining us in this STEM runway. Next slide, please. Many opportunities await for all of you. We would like you to come and join us early this summer. Even though it's going to be a virtual experience, we're offering the Summer Career Experience, where you're going to be able to register for at least 3 courses, one course, a 3-credit course, which, free of cost to you. We are offering Computer Science 202, Integrated Science, Math 141, and Psychology 202. You can find more information about SCE once you connect with the link that will be dropped on the chat. We are working also with the residential living communities that are located in several dorms across campus, particularly the Biohouse, the Greenhouse, and WISE, which is Women in Science and Engineering. They offer specific opportunities for students like you who are interested in pursuing a STEM major. We have mentoring and research opportunities. Biology, physics, computer science, neurobiology, zoology are just represented here. That's just a small sample of academic departments and programs that are available to you for you to take advantage of. We will be offering specialized seminars and field trips and professional development activities and courses also by our sister Wisconsin Institute for Science Education and Community Engagement, which is short, large for WeScience. Next slide, please. Again, this is all about all the teaching and learning experiences that you can take advantage of here at UW-Madison. I don't know if you're familiar with the term HIPS, high impact practices. We offer FIX, those are first year interest groups. URS, that's short for undergraduate research scholars. Study abroad programs, community services programs. We will offer you priority registration so you don't miss a beat on as you move on from freshman into sophomore year, particularly. So you're able to enroll in courses that matter, so you don't fall behind. We offer academic and career advising, instructional support. We work with our scholarships office as well, and our contacts in the financial aid office to make sure that you have the right financial package, and to make sure that your financial needs are matched. And again, providing stimulating and thought-provoking research experiences. That's what STEM Runway is about. Next slide. How to apply? Well, you can contact me directly, all right? If you're not ready to commit to STEM Runway, we can set up a meeting, a virtual meeting. We can talk about these opportunities, all right? Or you can sign up by completing the SE application and indicate that you are interested in the STEM Runway. Also, the CAE, the SE website is going to be dropped on the chat, so it's going to be available to you. Next slide. So, come to LNS, come to us, come to LNS STEM Runway, and then you can go anywhere. You can major in almost anything, okay? Opportunities are here for you to take advantage of. So that's, if anything, the message that I would like to convey and for you to take home, I guess, as you're home today. So you can, think about it, check out our websites, and decide to come and join us here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Next slide. So this is the time for Ask Me Anything, about STEM Runway, SCE, LNS, UW, and any of the other programs that are here represented. So this is your time to ask. And let's go to the, let's drop the presentation so we can all join here on the screen. Let's see. What questions do we have on tab? All right, so let's just start with some of questions of our own, just to inspire those who are viewing. Reach out and talk to us. So Devon Wilson, he's the director of CAE. Can you talk about how students get admitted through CAE to UW-Madison?
Thank you, Jose. One of the things that we're trying to do in the Center for Academic Excellence is identify what we believe are some of the most talented students in the country to do whatever, not only STEM, but pursuing in any career, any discipline. And so we partner with our Office of Admissions to do that, or students contact us directly. What we try to provide is a high-touch environment where students can develop their Wisconsin experience. We try to make sure that the Wisconsin experience is a reality for all students. Our students who come to the center are prioritized students to participate in those high impact practices that you talked about. Many of our students engage in undergraduate research or FIGs in their first year. So you can contact us directly, or a lot of times our colleagues at admissions will let us know that there's a student that would fit well with what we're trying to do. We're a place that tries to make this place small. We build a community. It's a place where you often find food happening, and so a lot of fellowship happening along with all the other good things. And it's a place that for over 50 years has been one of the major contributors to broaden the participation in a lot of the fields. The journey in this center goes back to the 60s, and so we have a legacy in our space, and our students go on to do great things.
And basically, anybody can join CAE as long as they are classified in the College of Letters and Science. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, you can join CAE as long as they're classified in College of Letters and Science. There are points where we might have students who end up going to other schools and colleges, and when you have a home, you come back to that home to check in. But most of our students end up being LNS, and we work with them over the 4 years and even after. I mean, as you know, we always are getting contacts from students even after graduate to support them in whatever journey. So it's one of those experiences where once you connected, I think students come back and they know that we always keep the light in CAE.
As I mentioned earlier, the Summer Career Experience, SCE, is the bridge program that is administered by CAE. It goes between 6 to 8 weeks this coming summer. And again, all what it takes is for you, if you are a student admitted at UW-Madison in the College of Letters and Science, go to the SCE website and apply. And again, if you want to have a conversation about it, there's more information about SCE in the SCE website. And our colleagues, Nick Ewald and Elliot Nardi, are there also to handle your questions. Enrique, I wanted to ask you, considering, all this disruption caused by COVID, have you been able to manage to move along and, advance academically during this past year specifically?
I appreciate the question. It has been challenging at times, especially with research labs not being available currently. But I'm looking forward to this upcoming fall for more labs to open up. In terms of online classes, it's been trying to keep that balance between in creating small groups online where you can interact with other students and just help each other out. It has come in very handy being able to talk to other students and just create that small community feeling, because it can be intimidating in these large classes, such as chemistry classes like 103 and 104, or physics 103 and 104. These classes that are in large sizes, being able to create small groups is very helpful, and it helps a lot, especially in the online virtual world.
Thank you, Enrique. There's a question from Adam on the chat. He says, I'm accepted to LNS for applied math, engineering, and physics, but I am thinking about actuarial science. Should I join CAE as a freshman? Can CAE or LNS STEM Runway help me evaluate these majors? I will say yes to all. I say yes to all, because CAE, we are a collection of academic advisors, deans, program coordinators, peer mentors as well. And if we don't know an answer, we have the rest of campus that we can just pick up the phone or send an email and help you, with our colleagues across campus to figure out, to have discussions with you and figure out what's the best course of action for you to pursue. And again, there are so many opportunities there that these discussions, again, right now you don't need to make up your mind. You can wait until the end of your sophomore year to actually declare your major, which you are supposed to declare a major at the end of your sophomore year. But between now and then, it's the opportunity to explore, it's the opportunity to talk, to discuss, to communicate. And at the end of the first sophomore year, you can actually, make up your mind. Any of our panelists would like to add to that?
I mean, I think that the AMEP.
Yeah, Shimon, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, I think the AMEP program is a fantastic program. I know more about it than the actuarial science program, which I'm sure is also a great program. But so I think I want to echo what you said, which is that it's really an opportunity to explore, start taking classes, start seeing what opportunities are available to you in these different majors, and you don't have to decide right now. And that's one of the great things. Is just to take that time to explore and see what the opportunities are. And I will say that just, when I was giving my sort of presentation about the physics department, I talked about physics majors, but many of the people doing research in the physics department are in the AMEP program as well. Mm-hmm. They actually even often, participate in our sort of commencement ceremony for our department and things like that. We really view it as sort of just like being a physics major. So we hope, Adam, that you'll join us, but we'll understand if you decide to do something else too, of course.
Yeah, but we want Adam here with us. Kelly, again, you mentioned zoology, and that was the focus of today's presentation. But can you just mention briefly the other majors under iBio?
Yes. So for the Department of Integrative Biology, we have zoology, which I spoke of earlier, neurobiology, which we've heard from Enrique today, as well as molecular and cell biology. That's kind of it. If I could kind of go a little further on it, they're all very interesting bioscience majors, and it gives you the opportunity to really kind of pick and choose. So let's say if you were interested in zoology but you also have that focus of neurobiology, we do have a lot of majors that do double major because the two very much complement each other. Mm-hmm. And then molecular and cell biology is also another really interesting major that we have out there. And also all three, I believe, and Janet, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Janet has Biocore students that are in all three of those majors.
That's right, Kellen. We've got students from zoology, neurobiology, biology, cell molecular biology, and even conservation biology. There's environmental science, and I could go on. There's a lot of different biology majors on campus. And plus, even within LNS, there's other biology fields, botany, for instance, which is a plant science, and so many different ways to look at biology. Even from the data science perspective, and I'm looking at Tracy, some of our courses now in Biocore count towards the data science certificate, which has really not been coming fields, and including bioinformatics, which is really cool, where you get to really look at some of the new fields in genetics and the sequencing data that we're getting now. So lots of things to explore there.
Okay, thank you for mentioning that, Janet, because I was going to ask Tracy that computer science is not just about, looking at a apparatus right there and hitting the keys and coming up with languages or programming. Computer sciences offer a lot of multidisciplinary approaches. Can you talk a little bit about these other connections that can be made from computer science and outward?
Yeah, so you guys can tell I love computer science, right? So computer science, I'm actually housed in computer science, and we're the School of Data and Information Sciences. Within computer science, I have an appointment in the iSchool where I teach project management, and I teach another course on teaching non-programmers how to learn how to program. And so we talk a lot in computer science about programming, about learning to code. In your first few classes, that's what you're going to do. But as you become more computing mature, what you do is you move into these specialty areas like operating systems, like databases, or robotics or artificial intelligence. I mean, we have this whole Internet of Things, right? We have these cell phones that have more memory than my computer right now. We have the Ring doorbell, we have all of this technology. And so what we do in computer science is show that computer science can apply or can complement so many different majors. You need computing, you need to learn the process of problem solving in almost every discipline. So no, we're not just programming. You may start off with those programming courses, but we do a lot of hands-on application. Again, I love the Internet of Things. I love robots, and I love the whole concept of design thinking, where the universe doesn't revolve around a computer. The computer is no longer the center of our universe anymore, that it's about the people that use the computers and people that use the technology and how we can make it more pleasurable for them. So, and I think that more of our courses are going that way, to make sure that we are thinking about the end user and that user experience, as opposed to thinking just about programming and those big mainframes and us sitting in the corner in the dark and not interacting with other people. Inside computer science, my class in particular, you have to work with the client, even virtually, right? You're working with clients, you're working with other team members. I have students that are right now geographically distributed across time zones, that are working together on solving complex, ill-defined projects that are so much fun. And so they're presenting these. We present them at the end of the year, and there's this sense of satisfaction that not only am I helping out my classmates get a great grade, I'm also helping out society, because I have helped out a client do something that they may not have been able to do otherwise. And then we have classes where we teach Scratch or this intro programming to 4th and 5th graders. So we have our undergraduate students going out into libraries and elementary schools and working with students to get them excited about computer science. And we teach them concepts, what we call CS Unplugged. You don't have to plug into a computer to learn problem solving and learn how to program. You can learn it by interacting with other people, by having somebody stand up and they are the robot and you are the brain behind the robot, and you tell them what to do, and you're controlling them. And so we teach We teach students that it's not just about the code, that it's about how you interact with the computer and how the computer interacts with the person or the end user. So I can go on forever about computer science, but I'm going to stop there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I wanted to pose this question for any of the panelists. You know, in these times of COVID, you know, also there has been a lot of research being developed at so many different levels. It's not just from in the medical school. It spans, you know, it goes, you know, it has touched almost every single department here at UW-Madison. At least there's going to be one researcher working on a COVID-related question, you know, whether it's data acquisition or sharing or whatnot. So can any of you mention something that might be happening on your department that is kind of COVID related in terms of research or approaches? Yeah, Janet.
Yeah, I can speak a little bit about that because it has a lot to do also with how we actually conducted our classes during this year. And Enrique talked a little bit about, you know, yes, we are in a remote learning environment. But when we hit COVID last March, all of our Biocore classes, we had to decide what we wanted to do. And so one of the things that we ended up doing is a COVID-themed curriculum. And so we actually, you know, as students were beginning to learn about biochemistry and learn about molecular biology and cell biology, and they were also going to our research or they were getting their saliva tested. We actually did a saliva biochemistry laboratory where students were at home and they were doing experiments in small groups, communicating over the Zoom platform. But they were doing experiments using their saliva and understanding how our saliva pH changes, how the enzymes in our saliva changes. And then we collaborated with one of our faculty instructor teams that are also, they work at the AIDS Vaccine Research Laboratory, and they've converted their whole laboratory to COVID research out in Research Park. And so all of the students that were doing experiments at home, they were able to give their experimental samples to our researchers that then spiked them with COVID to see how manipulation of our saliva actually changes sometimes the test results that you get. So false negatives or false positives.
Yep.
So that's one of the examples that we are doing. And we also study vaccine development too. So that's been some of the things that we've done during this time.
So again, there are opportunities to cater to any of your interests in science, or, you know, even if you have some students, they have a deep interest in social justice causes and situations that are happening back in their communities, and they try to find also ways to provide solutions to whatever is happening back in their communities. And also that can, even though we might be talking about chemistry or biology or computer science or physics, there are so many ways also to develop your own research and connect and work with faculty across the college for you to develop a deeper knowledge on that particular cause that you would like to that you would like to find solutions to. And, you know, we are here to provide you with that information and that support as well. So it's almost the top of the hour. We want to thank all the panelists who were here this afternoon with us. Janet, Tracy, Enrique, Kellen, Shimon, and Devon. This is, you know, your LNS crew. These are your friends. This is your family. We are part of the Badger family. We also want to thank Amanda for joining us from Biocore. as well as Caitlin, Scott Carter, and Carlin Soth for providing the technical support to the Ask Me Anything session this Sunday afternoon. So with that, let's say all Wisconsin. 1, 2, 3. All
Honor
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
All right.